Children, good morning. So, today we are continue with the part 2 of diversity in living organisms. So, let us study regarding the hierarchy of classification. So, living organisms have been broadly classified into 5 main kingdoms. That is, Whittaker, he has proposed this 5 kingdom classification. That is Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, Animalia. These are 5 main kingdoms. So, each kingdom has been further classified into smaller subgroups. It is under various levels. So, highest level is kingdom, next to kingdom phylum, then class, order, family, genus, then species. So, species it is no lowest level, that is the basic unit of classification. It is a group of organisms where they are similar and also they can reproduce among themselves under natural conditions also. Okay. The same genetic composition will be there for this species. So, identical species they kept under one genus. The genus showing some identical features they are kept under a family, and some relatives, the family who are the more the organisms which are showing more similar characters are kept under order, and in order the organisms showing more similar features are kept under a class. The same way the similar feature showing organisms under class are kept under phylum, then kingdom. So, kingdom is the highest level. There are 5 kingdoms are there, that is Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. So, you see here the 5 kingdom classification, how it has been done. Organisms, they are broadly classified into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay. So, here unicellular organisms, unicellular prokaryotes, all the organisms they may be unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular organisms without well defined nucleus are kept under that is that type of prokaryotes are kept under Monera. Actually, prokaryotes are the organisms not showing well defined nucleus. So, all of them are unicellular, means Monera are unicellular organisms, that is unicellular prokaryotes we can tell in short. In prokaryotes there are no multicellular organisms, that is different, but anyhow simply if you want to classify Monera, so Monera are unicellular prokaryotes. Next, eukaryotes. So, eukaryotes 2 categories are there, it can be unicellular or multicellular. So, unicellular eukaryotes are kept under Protista, and multicellular further we can classify. If they do not have cell wall, they are classified under Animalia. If they have with the cell wall and later if they are able to do photosynthesis, they are kept under Plantae. Not able to do photosynthesis means kept under Fungi. Okay. So, like that we can see 5 kingdom classification. Monera are unicellular prokaryotes, and Protista also unicellular but eukaryotes, and Animalia are multicellular eukaryotes without cell wall, and fungi are they are multicellular eukaryotes with the cell wall, they do not perform photosynthesis. Plantae are multicellular eukaryotes with the cell wall able to perform photosynthesis. So, in this way 5 kingdom classification is there. The same way this is the flow diagram given in your book, that is the same diagram what I explained. You see here Protista. So, Protista, these all are different type of Protista, these all are unicellular eukaryotes, and Monera, these all are unicellular prokaryotes. Okay. So, kingdom fungi, these all are Plantae, and this is kingdom Animalia. Okay. Fungi they do saprophytic nutrition, plants they can do they can do autotrophic nutrition, means they can do photosynthesis, and animals they depend upon other organisms for their food. It can be herbivore, carnivore or omnivore or parasite, various types of animals are there, even plants also parasitic plants are there. But anyhow mainly they depend, they have to do, even parasitic plants also they have to do photosynthesis, it is must for plants. Now, Monera. So, Monera are prokaryote unicellular. They do not have well defined nucleus. They may or may not have cell wall. And the mode of nutrition, it is autotrophic or heterotrophic. Autotrophic means by means of photosynthesis they can prepare the food. Heterotrophic means they depend upon other organisms for their food. Bacteria, blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, all are coming under this category. Next is Protista. Protista are eukaryotic unicellular. Mostly these all are aquatic organisms. They have cilia or flagella. Okay, with help of that they can move. So you see, cilia means what? You can see in the case of Paramecium. Paramecium they show cilia, and Euglena they show flagella. So Euglena, flagella means what? They are long and countable number. You can see in Euglena only one is there, but in the case of Paramecium so many small projections are there, that you call that as cilia. Okay, and they either they move by cilia or by flagella, or this is amoeba. Amoeba by forming pseudopodia they can move from one place to another. So in the nutrition it can be autotrophic or heterotrophic. When you see the green colored organisms, they can do photosynthesis. So here algae also they can do photosynthesis, diatoms, and the Euglena also they can do photosynthesis. When you see amoeba and all, they depend upon other organisms for their food. So they eat the small minute particles and they take energy from that. Like that, the mode of nutrition it can be vary, but main feature what is that? Eukaryotic and unicellular, all are coming under this category. Next to fungi. So fungi are eukaryotic, unicellular, or it can be multicellular also, but they do not have chlorophyll and they cannot prepare their food. So they are like heterotrophs, but anyhow they depend upon decaying organic matter for their food. So that's why you call them as saprophytes. So some of them they live in association with algae. So when they live in association with algae, you call them as lichens. Okay, lichens, they are one type of symbiotic organism. They are showing composition of both algae and fungal component. So here the next one is means they are one type of organism. They are heterotrophs only, but heterotrophs, what type how do they do? So they depend upon dead organic matter for their food, and sometimes they show symbiotic nutrition like lichens. So yeast, aspergillus, penicillium, agaricus, lichens are coming under this category. So yeast, they are useful in the preparation of bread and all. Then penicillium is one type of, it is useful in the preparation of antibiotics. Agaricus, that is multicellular, that is a mushroom, that you call that as agaricus. Okay. Then lichens. So lichens, they do symbiotic nutrition. So next is plantae. So plantae are multicellular eukaryote and they are having cell wall. They use chlorophyll for photosynthesis. So all plants are coming under this category. Okay. So here they are divided into 5 groups. It can be Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. So familiarize these terms. We will study later one by one in next class. Okay. They are divided into 5 groups. What are they? Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, here P is silent, Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. These all are multicellular eukaryote having cell wall and they have chlorophyll and they can do photosynthesis on their own. Next category, 5th is Animalia. They are animals. They are multicellular eukaryotes but without chlorophyll and cell wall. Plants, they have chlorophyll and they have cell wall also. Here there is no chlorophyll and cell wall. They are classified into various categories. What are given below? Once again, these all are heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means what? They depend upon other organisms for their food. So they are classified into following groups. So these terms, you familiarize. The next coming classes we will study this one by one by giving examples. Detailedly we will study. You familiarize these terms, children. Plantae, the groups given under Plantae also, Animalia also. So Animalia, let us see the classification further, that is Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Protocardata and Vertebrata. Okay, children. Plants, they are classified into Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. Animals, Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, it can be known as Nemathelminthes also, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Protochordata and Vertebrata. In coming classes, we will study detailedly all the classification step by step. So, we are going to focus further on plants separately and animals separately in the coming classes. Hope you must have understood, children. You familiarize all the terms given, because you come across different new terms, then we will study separately in each and every class. Thank you, children. If you can't understand, you can contact me.